to the Epstein files. Wow. God, he's doing everything. Starting a war, putting the military on parade. God, what's it gonna do next? Just drop a bomb here on Los Angeles? What's that bright light? It's pathetic, and it's so transparent what he's doing. This is purely to keep the focus off of the Epstein files, because he's in them hundreds of times, most likely, over and over and over. And those Epstein files are going to have documents. They're going to have message exchanges. They're going to have videotapes. They're going to have testimonies. They're going to have DNA test kits. They're going to have all of these things. By the way, Trump would never consent to a DNA test kit for the E. Jean Carroll suit. What does that tell you about the guy's legal honesty, right? So that's what's in those Epstein files, and Trump is caught red-handed in every single page on there, which is why he's working so hard to keep them suppressed and distract from it. Which is also so interesting how every single day that goes by that the Epstein files haven't been leaked with some Democrat's name tells me the Democrats aren't actually in them. Like, you're seriously going to sit there and say that if, like, Bill Gates wasn't in them, Warren Buffett wasn't in them, Bill Clinton wasn't in them, that those papers would be leaking, like, every single day? Absolutely they would. And that's why I am not convinced, and every single day that goes by, I am starting to believe that there are no actual Democrats in the Epstein files. I could very well be wrong. And if there are, just like Trump and just like all the other MAGA pedophiles that's in those, they should be arrested. Simple fact. Look at that, MAGA. Consistency. It's actually fucking easy. So Trump is just doing another spectacle, and he is taking over Washington, D.C. police, which he does technically have legal grounds to do so. However, it's all a farce. It's all horseshit. Crime has been going down consistently throughout the country. The only time that we had a massive spike in nationwide crime was under Trump in 2020. We had rapes, we had murders, we had assaults, we had grand theft auto, we had everything that you could possibly find in a Rockstar video game of a crime. That's what was happening out on the Trump streets. If there was ever a time to have actually done to like federalize the DC police, that would have been the time. But of course he's not doing that because, again, he needs a distraction. Bonjour, hi, Diane and Bay Mon, hello. So he's gonna keep doing these political theater, and it's amazing because like I thought the Democrats had like a real hold on political theatrics. I was wrong. Cory Booker doing his 24-hour performathon bullshit, right? Just to turn right around that week and vote for the bill anyways. And then all this stuff with Alex Padilla getting arrested and then going along and voting for MAGA nominees anyways, right? Like, that blew my mind. I thought the Democrats were the only ones that could do performative political theater. Trump is showing me very, very wrong here because this is all spectacle, just like the war with Iran was, which was never constitutional, which was always just going to drag America into a foreign war that we don't want to be in for an ally that doesn't give a single fuck about whether we survive or not. So it's all just a distraction. Oh boy, there's a lot of chats. What did I miss here? Hello, Anthony Catarzina. Catarzina, I am talking about Trump's latest political theater taking over the DC police. Oh, you're French. Okay. Yeah, so I speak only English, unfortunately. I took French in middle school, and my French is not good, even when I was practicing. Talking about history, yes. Trumpet or Trump? Very good question, isn't it? And what we're seeing with this federalization of the police, it's actually kind of interesting. I'm personally not seeing... I'm seeing a lot of the police like escort and block off streets and have checkpoints, which is totally fucking illegal, by the way. You can't just have a checkpoint under the assumption that people in the area are doing a crime. That's blatantly unconstitutional. You have absolutely no probable cause to be doing that. So you have no reason to be there. It's the same thing with cops being able to stop you on the street and saying, hey, you look suspicious. Motherfucker, I'm walking Did you get a call about me being suspicious? Did you see me grab something out of a store? No, you didn't. You're making shit up. There's nothing suspicious happening. You're just looking for a problem. So, personally, from a lot of the footage that I've seen, I haven't seen a lot of the DC police actually participate in this stuff, with the exception of that checkpoint. They've done a lot of escorts and like blocked off the streets so that the MAGA Gestapo feds can, go to door and do the papers, please routine. So I've seen a lot of that. I'm very curious what the morale is. Because that's got to be boring. DC right now is also hot as balls, okay? And it's really humid out there. So walking around in those streets in their tight little frisky little clothes of theirs, in all black, ooh, so seductive, but also just hot in that sun. That cannot be comfortable. That cannot be fun at all. So I do wonder what their morale is like. I know that morale in ICE is low, right? The ICE agents have their lowest morale ever. They're all pretty pissed, and many of them have even tried to transfer out of the department so they don't have to participate in this Gestapo-ry. But it's pretty boring work, honestly. Just walking from place to place. So I haven't seen a lot of that, but I have seen, again, the feds went through, where were they, in Georgetown, I think, the other day? And in Georgetown, they were stopping people and asking them for their papers. And then, I should have pulled up that article, but there was an article of them just stopping people and also, again, asking them for their ID, asking them for their more sensitive documents like birth certificates, asking for their social media information. I'm pretty sure social media information was one of those. And people are like, no, fuck you. And that is the correct fucking answer to these Gestapo. Because what happens is these pigs get this information and then they don't actually use it for legitimate purposes. We've seen time and time again these pigs get access to very sensitive information, and they use it to abuse. I can't tell you how many stories there have been of these pigs who have access to these criminal databases or just, driver's license searches, and they use it to stalk their ex-girlfriends. These are facts. These are actual facts. And then, of course, you get like the California Police Union. What was her position? It was LAPD union, and she was smuggling drugs back across from Mexico. So they don't use their power for actual good. And a lot of the MAGA morons seeing this would probably be like, well, you're going to feel really bad when someone breaks into your house. Bitch, if someone breaks into my house, they're not making it more than 5 feet. I have multiple layers of security for that exact reason. Because let's say someone did break into my house and I didn't have the security measures that I do. Someone breaks into my house, and how long is it going to take the cops to arrive? 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? Maybe I can't even get through because the 911 operators are busy. That's a thing that happens. So you need to be able to defend yourself and protect yourself. And then if it's other things that happen, so for example, there's a lot of stories of people out here that they actually do get robbed. They call the police for help, and the police show up hours after the fact, basically look around, shrug their shoulders, and say, oh, well, they're not here, there's nothing we can do. These are actual facts. These are actual store owners that have encountered this kind of stuff, and nothing happens. There's no accountability. And then you also have, like me personally, we've had a car broken into, stole the airbag. I've had a bike stolen, all caught on camera, by the way, and you turn this over to the police and they don't care. They don't bother. Why are we paying billions of dollars to these organizations that don't do anything? They don't contribute. They're not out here protecting me if someone were to break into my apartment. I'm the one that has to defend myself, right? And even if they did show up, they'd take one look at my, my Palestine flag, and then they would start hassling me and say that I was the one who broke into their apartment. It's like, bitch, this is my house. Look around you. Look around. That picture of me? Yeah, that's me. Not this other dude who just broke in. So, going back to what I was saying with them having, like, again, the police are criminals, right? There was a case out here in Los Angeles where a trainee was going to testify to in regards to a police racket, basically. I can't remember what specifically they were doing. I can't remember if they were dealing drugs or whatever. But the cadet was going to testify against them, and it was looking like a very solid case. He was the star witness. Day before the trial, he dies in a sad training accident at LAPD Academy, where LAPD officers for committing crimes. Believable, right? Yeah. Super believable. About as believable as Epstein killing himself. Water. So, and then you also look at the violent actions of the police during times of mass protest, mass uprising against mass uprising against the system. You see their actions when those kind of things happen, and they are actively targeting and harming civilians. There's a great video of this. I believe she was a state representative in Florida. This is a thing about 2014, I think. So the police have radicalized even further than where they were, right? 2014, she was out in a protest, and she turns her back, and the police shot her in the leg with a rubber bullet. And she confronts them, very, very ballsy of her, confronts them, and says like, "You the one that shot me? Yeah, I want his fucking..." She had a camera crew with her. "I want these motherfuckers on camera right now." I can't remember the conclusion of that, but I do believe there was a court case, probably a settlement. And from what I recall, in her case, there's actual video of that officer and that officer's CO talking in, you know, the Pig HQ or wherever. We'll just call it the barn. They were talking there, and the CO was saying, who is the dude who shot that lady that lawyer lady in the leg? Guy raises his hand. He's like, "Yeah, that was a good shot, man. That was funny as hell. I saw her. She looks like she was in pain." You know, and that's how radical they were back in 2014. And you saw it out here with all this stuff, the anti-ICE protests that happened out here in downtown. It was an Australian reporter, had her back to the pigs. There's nothing happening, keep in mind. It's just a line of pigs standing around doing nothing but stealing taxpayer dollars. And she has her back to them standing, I don't know, 5-10 feet away, probably close to about 10 feet. And she finishes her broadcast, and the guy at the end of the line actively turns towards her, points his, I believe it's a 40 millimeter cannon, points and shoots at her, and hits her in the back, I think. Either way, hits her from, you know, he hit it from behind, though, and got her for no fucking reason. She was not a threat. She was very clearly press, and there's no accountability for these pigs. None whatsoever. There's incident after incident after incident of the pigs behaving violently and rioting in these protests and starting violence and assaulting people, and it goes on and on and on. And we pay the taxpayer bill for that. It doesn't come out of the pig pension. It doesn't come out of their trough, right? It comes out of our taxpayer dollars. It comes out of the Los Angeles General Fund, which we pay into, which is supposed to go to shit, you know, like cleaning our goddamn potholes, taking our fucking trash, giving us affordable fucking housing out here, and investigating wage theft, which is a huge fucking problem. And instead, we have to pay out because these fucking criminal killer cops, can't fucking keep their pecker in their pants when it comes to violence. So yes, they are a violent gang. The only thing that separates the cops from the Crips is a fucking badge. So, bring it all full circle, that's all what this is about. It's about Trump commandeering a violent gang to distract from his own criminality, which is a hallmark of fascists everywhere and all the time throughout history. And it's deflecting, and it is normalizing the behavior of a police state. And the corporate media, of course, you know, that made such a big deal over every little tiny thing that Biden or Obama or whatever, even Kamala, right? And I hate Kamala and I hate Biden, but the simple fact is the corporate media is evil. They are in on the bag for Republicans, and corporate media must be destroyed. That said, Kamala there's a bunch of articles of her, you know, they were like, oh my God, Kamala spent $500 for pots and pans. I can't believe it. $500 in pots and pans in the VP residence? Oh my God, what a waste of taxpayer dollars. Meanwhile, Pete Hegseth had to transform his entire office so it could accommodate a makeup room. Where's corporate media on that? Why isn't that a scandal? Right? Why isn't this a scandal? The military parade that lasted for, that news cycle lasted for what, 2 days? That was a complete waste of taxpayer dollars. Even all this stuff in DC right now, it's a complete waste of taxpayer dollars. They managed to arrest 23 people one night, which is slightly above average from their normal of about 17 a night in that area. It's insane. Billions of dollars to that, and we can't afford free healthcare? But we can sure give it to the fucking Israelis while they bomb Palestinian babies.